Okay, now I'm going to try doing the same thing, one-point perspective, but this time I'm going to be doing it in Photoshop just to show you that it can be done. And then we're going to shut everything off. And if you can see over here on the side, I'm using different layers to keep things separated. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to, again, do our horizon line. In this case, I'm using a line from my ruler brought down, and I'm going to change my color to black, which is 6 zeros, to draw in my horizon line at this point. And that's a little bit horsey. So I'm going to change the size of my line here. I'm going to bring it up, or not bring it up, bring up the hardness, yes, but I'm going to keep it probably, oh, let's see, maybe I'll draw one at about 15 pixels. Let's see how that goes. Yeah, that's a little bit better. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm going to click, and then I'm going to use my Shift key to hold, go to the other side, and as I hold Shift, I'll click, and it draws a line for me, straight line. So that's how I got that. All right, so I'm going to move my rule line off the thing here so that I can see the horizon line. It's a little bit horsey, but I guess for this it'll be okay. I'll probably change things when I do the actual cube. And I did. I made a mistake. I drew my horizon line on the background. So that's good. That'll give me a chance to go back and undo this. Edit, undo, edit, undo brush tool, and undo my point. All right, so I'm going to be on the horizon line this time. I'm going to be on that layer. I'm going to lock this layer up so that I don't work on it again. Good idea. All right, now that we're all straightened around here, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to grab my brush tool. This time I'm going to change the size of that line down to about, oh, let's see, we'll go 6 points. That's probably, now, make it a little bit bigger than that. I want to be able to see it. So I'm going to do 8. There we go. All right, so I'm going to click right here on that rule line, the other side of the canvas here, on the rule line, hold Shift, click, and I got a line. That's better. That's a better line. It's not so bright or not so big and bold. Don't need it that way. All right, so there's my horizon line. Now I'm going to do my vanishing point. I'm going to be on that line. I'm going to go in here and lock my, um, I didn't mean to make another layer, but no, it's okay. I'm going to go in here and lock the horizon line because I don't need to work on that anymore. I'm going to go to my vanishing point now, and I'm going to make my vanishing point just a little bit bigger on the horizon line so that you can see it. I'm going to make that 12 and go here to the middle of the paper or document. Click. Oop. Yeah. I'm going to click right in the middle here. Make a vanishing point right there. There. Now you can see the vanishing point on the horizon line. All right, so now I can lock up the vanishing point because I don't need that anymore. And now I'm going to create some lines going to that vanishing point. So I'll use this one to do lines too. I had it on that other layer, but I decided I didn't want to use it. So I'm going to change my color now to blue, just like I did in the version that I showed you by hand. All right, so again, I can start here at my vanishing point. I can click right there, and then I can come down here and Shift click. That'll give me one line. Go back up to my vanishing point, go across, come down here, Shift click. That'll give me another line. And now I want to do a line across here that is the front of the cube. So bring my rule line down again to make sure that I'm parallel with the horizon line, and mark a line across. There's my bottom of my cube edge. Then I'm going to go over here and bring a line up across. This is going to be the front edge of my cube here. And I'm going to make my cube a little squat so you can still see the top of it. There we go. We'll bring another line, rule line in over here. First of all, I'm going to bring a line straight across. So I'm going to bring a line down from the top. This is all to keep me honest, to make sure that my cube lines up with the top of the horizon line, and then down here. There we go. Now, we're going to draw lines from this corner back to the vanishing point there, like so, and like so. Now we have to establish a line across the back here, which is going to be the back edge of our cube. And I'm going to go click right there to there. And now I'm going to go back here with another line, rule line, and the rule line there, just to make sure that I'm keeping myself honest here, so that my lines are straight up and down. And then again across the back, again to keep those in place, just like. See, this isn't right. There's something wrong there. That's probably because I didn't draw a line across here first. So I'm going to do Edit, Undo the Brush Tool, Edit and Undo the Brush Tool, Guide, Edit, Undo the Brush Tool. There we go. Get rid of that line. What we're going to do first is we're going to establish this line across to give ourselves that back edge of the cube before we draw the line up. See, this line right here wasn't in the right spot. Should be right there. There we go. So that rule line here should have been moved over a little bit. So you can see how you can check things like this. All right, so now we have the cube in blue line, and now we're going to do the cube as black lines. So we're going to be on that layer. I'm going to take and lock this layer so that I'm up working on just the cube. Now this is where working in Photoshop becomes a little easier for you, because of the fact that you can set your line thicknesses as you're working, which when you're doing with a pen or something like that, you have to double up the pen lines and stuff like that. So you don't have to do that in Photoshop. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take and we're going to set our front edge lines at about 15. And they're drawn in black. So these guys are going to be fairly thick. And there we go. And then back here. And back here. And back to this. And down to this one. Now, as we know, the other lines are going to be thinner because there is what? There's no air around them. So we're going to take and change this line back to about 10 thickness, and we're going to cross here, and then we're going to go across here. All right, now the nice thing about all of this is you can clean this drawing up really fast because of the fact that it's all in layers. So now in order to do the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hide my extras. That gets rid of all of my rule lines. And then I'm going to turn off the lines in blue. And I could probably even turn off the horizon line. And then I've just got my perspective of my, I've got the VP still showing there. So now I've got just the cube. So this shows you how you can use the same principles that I showed you by drawing by hand to use it to do the same thing with Photoshop. So I hope this helps, and I will see you guys in the next video.